Hey guys, what's up? Guess what? This is our 30th tutorial video for PUBG PS4 and Xbox, and this is Louis here. Let's go! Alright, so now that Louis has left us, it's time to talk about the 3 different aiming techniques in the game. In today's tutorial, I'm gonna try to help you to identify the best aiming technique which will fit in your actual situation to be the most efficient one and try to win all the fights and eventually take home that tasty chicken dinner. I try to explain everything as best as I can, but I recommend you guys to not just listen to this tutorial but also watch the video as well and try to, analyze the different situations, even slow down the footage if necessary, and try to mimic my movement and my aiming technique. Alright, so with that being said, let's talk about the 3 different aiming techniques. The first one is ADS, the second one is over the shoulder, and the third one, and in my opinion the most useful one, especially in CQC situations, is the Hipfire. I can probably thank 1/3 of my chicken dinners to this aiming technique. It's a pretty useful one and no one would ever think about that, but I'm going to talk about this in a little bit more detail at the end of this video. I want to start first with the basics. Let's talk about the recoil. So your recoil will actually depend on the attachments you have on your weapon. I already have a tutorial video for all the attachments in PUBG, so refer back to that video for more information. But the main thing you should know is that there are actually differences between the attachments. Depending on your range and your firing technique, you should take different ones if you want to be the most efficient one on the battlefield. As you can see on the image, a bare vector will have higher recoil than a kitted out. And of course the recoil can be different within the same weapon category. Take 2 SMGs as an example. I fired one magazine with the Bison and the other one with the Vector, and the recoil was way different. And this is also true if you use an AR. The ARs would pack a bigger punch but will have lower rate of fire. The SMGs are naturally weaker weapons but will have a higher rate of fire, and of course in most of the cases they will have lower recoil as well. Alright, so now that we cleared the fog around the fundamentals, let's talk about the 3 different aiming techniques. The first one is the ADS. If you use type A, you have to toggle the left trigger to go ADS. But with type B and C, you have to hold. I recommend you to use this aiming technique whenever your enemy is already in your line of sight. Actually, whenever your enemy is within the circle I just drew on the screen. If you ADS, you will have precise shots. Most of your bullets will connect, so it's a pretty fast way to kill your opponents, but the difference will be in mobility, which means that you will have limited speed, therefore you will have harder time to dodge the bullets. But due to the precise shots, you wanna be down with the kill pretty fast. Hey guys, again 5 kill win, but on Karakin this time. GG guys, second win tonight. We're unstoppable, man, and look at the ping, 130. And moving on to the second one, over the shoulder. Well, you will have higher recoil. Actually, if you're not careful enough, approximately 50% or sometimes even more of your bullets will actually miss the target, but you will have slightly increased movement speed. I usually try to use this aiming technique in third-person perspective so that I can use this as my advantage and try to gather some information before my enemy sees me. You will have higher mobility compared to ADS, but of course your bullets will miss. So I recommend you to use this aiming technique when you're within like 5 meters of your enemy, but not real close. Take cover behind an object and wait for your enemy in third-person perspective, and whenever they move, step sideways to have your enemy in front of your barrel, connect those nasty shots and go back behind cover. And now let's talk about the most important one in my opinion, the Hipfire. With Hipfire you will have fast movements, you'll be able to dodge the bullets and be all over the place, so actually your enemy will have hard time to hit you. I use this aiming technique when I have the opportunity to push up on my enemy real close, like right next to each other or within 1 or 2 meters maximum. Run around your enemies and basically just spray and pray. And of course, to use this aiming technique, you'll need a weapon with a really good hip fire accuracy. I recommend to use an SMG, especially a Vector. This will be a pretty good tool for this purpose. And as I said, I can probably thank 1/3 of my chicken dinners to this aiming technique. Try this in your next game and you'll be surprised how efficient it is. And that would conclude the tutorial for today. Good hunting, go get them, and have fun, guys. Hey guys, first game, 5 kill win on Erangel, guys.